Well, the one question that was the loudest that was repeating over and over inside my heart and my head and all of me was, who am I? What am I here for? I realize that's two questions, but it was literally that soundtrack over and over. What am I here for? What am I supposed to be doing? It was so confusing. As a stand-up comic and somebody that loves to see people laugh, I had no idea what it meant. Why did I love doing this so much? Not a clue. And it was very confusing to me as a believer, as somebody that I thought was faith-filled. I had no idea why I wanted to do that. Like, why was that desire in me? And why did he even want this for me? That's not a real godly talent. I'm in bars and nightclubs with a bunch of sinners. Give me something that is good for good Christian folk. That's what I thought. That's kind of what I had convinced myself of. Well, the confusion can be agonizing. Like, I didn't even realize how easy the jokes, the humor, the comedy came to me, because I would agonize over what am I here for? What is my purpose? What is my pathway to heaven? Brain headache that I was agonizing over confused all that. So when you're concentrated, it's like the focus. I was so focused on, what am I here for? What's my purpose? Who am I? I was so focused on that I was missing out on this big, bright, beautiful picture that was right in front of my face. And once you go through the goal track and that all is revealed in such a beautiful, easy, laid out, step-by-step way, it's like, it just opens up and you can just have such an understanding that I grew up in a very small town. I went to a little Christian school, followed by a public high school. First of all, lots of confusion there. I was taught one thing for 8 years, and then I went to the public school, and they quickly switched to different things. Just creation versus evolution. I'm like, wow, which one is it? That part alone is you start to second guess yourself. So in my formidable years, I was taught to second guess myself. So then here I am trying to reignite my Christian faith, trying to reignite my path with God, and I'm doing stand-up comedy in bars and restaurants, and I'm with people that are drinking and appear to be sinners, possibly have lost their way. And I'm like, what am I doing here? Am I doing any good for your kingdom? Is this at all anything you want me to be doing? And it was just so confusing. And the confusion of that clouded everything else. And I couldn't see any answers beyond that. Well, that was very unexpected, let me tell you. I didn't really know what I was getting into. First of all, the identity word was thrown around a lot. I didn't know the confusion that I was experiencing before I started the goal track. It was very early on that I started realizing, okay, I see what this heaviness is. I see what this garbage is that I'm carrying around. I see why I can't seem to get any momentum going in my life. Very early, like the first couple lessons, just like that, right out of the gate. Really, really shocked me. And can I just tell you, not a strong student in high school or middle school. So also very intimidating to start a program that I thought was going to be like a college level, and going through it is a college level course. I was amazed by how simplified the process was and understandable everything was, to be able to really keep up. You weren't left behind ever. You weren't like thrown to the wolves and like, well, I hope you figure it out. I didn't have to Google things nonstop. Like, what does that mean? I don't even know what that is. So very quickly, I was able to realize what was holding me back and start really working on that particular part, which opened up a door to a whole bunch of other stuff that I was like, oh my God, there's so much more to this world that I haven't even been walking in at all. And since that, I've gotten to experience a lot of new things. And one in particular, just simply confidence in who I am and what I bring to the table in each and every person I get the opportunity to encounter every single day. Not just when I'm on stage. Every single person I encounter, I get to bring a certain kind of gifting, a certain kind of energy to that has been in me the whole time, and I didn't even know it was there. Clueless, totally clueless. It's been there. So happy to know it's there. All because of the Gold Track. All because of the Gold Track. Well, how much time do we have? So I've just recently celebrated 10 years of doing stand-up comedy. In 10 years, I have built a pretty successful, small, traveling stand-up comedy club here in Michigan that has about 30 to 40 rooms we do comedy in. Since doing the Gold Track, believe it or not, we've scaled down and gotten bigger. I know that does not sound like it makes sense, but it is beyond phenomenal. The comedians we're working with are international superstars, like headliners you've seen on TV. They have huge specials. They never would have worked with like a little baby company like what we thought we were prior to this. Coming to our little baby towns, what we thought we were prior to this. We got these bigger venues. We got rid of our small venues. We got these huge venues that are doing, it's just phenomenal for the comedy series. Also, in this process, was inspired with Jen Horling, the instructor of this class, but an idea for a show, a comedy show that was crowd interactive called The Dirty Little Secret Show. And I wrote it out and I test piloted the whole show here in Michigan, where I'm from, where I can test pilot something. It was a huge hit. It felt right. It was awesome. I pitched it to a big booker, actually, the booker that toured the Impractical Jokers for 12 years, very successfully. I'm sure you've heard of that little show. He loved it. He picked it up. He is now professionally booking me under the same name that Impractical Jokers was touring. This is giant. I am traveling the U.S., getting on planes. I'm closer to my husband than I've ever been. He's my best friend, my most favorite person in the world. It wasn't even a year and a half ago. It would have made me actually have a physical reaction to try to say that. He is my most favorite person in the world. My best friend. I love my kids. We're actively always planning family time together. I homeschool. I get to do the gigs I want to do. I get to say no to the ones I don't want to do. I'm sure people are like, stop talking about how great your life is. I don't care. My life is great. God's guiding the way. He's introducing me to the exact people he wants me to be introduced to. And if it wasn't for the Gold Track, I would have no idea who I am, what he gifted me with from birth, and what the heck I was put on this earth for, to do the best I could with while I'm here, which is just a blink of an eye. Do the best while you're here, because once we're gone, it's a party. And I am just beyond grateful. I can't imagine going back. Never. And what the future holds, my mind's blown already. I can't imagine what the future holds. I would say the Gold Track helped me the most in understanding who I am and who he made me to be. I have spent my entire life trying to please everybody in every way possible. And although I am still working on that, I am far less in need of public opinion. And it has been so many less tears, so much less worry, so much less pain, just knowing he is so proud of me and he wants me to just freaking go. Run for the finish line, sister. I got you. I gave you everything you need, and all the people are going to meet you exactly where they're supposed to meet you at. And I've never had this kind of relaxation or relief before in my life. Now, I've been like a nervous ball of organs and water my whole life. Like, you know, this is so cool. This is so cool. But I feel so calm. I mean, I can be a lot. Let me tell you, my personality is big. But I feel like I can be so calm in my heart and my mind, just thinking about like, he's got this. He already knows. It's already figured out. There's nothing I can do about it. Just keep walking forward. I never, ever knew it was that simple. Never. What have I liked about the actual program? Well, I'll never tell you I like homework. I will never admit to that. I don't care how cool of a teacher Jen is, which she's the coolest. And I'm sorry for any of my teachers that ever see this, but best teacher I ever had. Sorry, Mrs. Walter. Sorry, Mrs. Bickle. I'm just saying Jen rocks. And it's not just because of her cool tattoos. I really like the layout of the class. We are in a group setting. You're learning alongside other people. I was in a class with completely different people. If you think I was in a class with 4 other stand-up comics, you are sadly mistaken. That is not true. Everybody was completely different in completely different careers, different places in their life. We all were in completely different places and could learn also from what each other was experiencing in their place in the class part of what section we were going through. And that helped so much. I loved that. I'm a people person. I'm sure you can't tell. I loved that part. The best things about Jen being the teacher of this class, she's the most unintimidating person ever. You're talking about a college level course here that you're going to go through in a that can be something that you think, oh goodness, somebody like me that dropped out of college very early on. Like I barely tipped my toes in the water and I was like, And so I was scared, and I actually had a time about halfway through, I got behind, and I started to hide, which is something I do. I start ducking and hiding, and Jen reached out and was like, hey, if there's anything you need help with, don't be afraid to let me know. And I was like, this sounds like a trap. She's just trying to find out what I'm not doing. And then sure enough, I ended up just reaching out, and she was like, hey, whatever I can do to help you, I'm here. No big deal. Everybody can get caught up. And she was so disarming. And even by the next class, I was not caught up. I did not get lectured. I did not get scolded. She did not even tell the class I wasn't caught up. It didn't even come up. It was not part of the conversation at all. I had never been through something like that. Typically a public shame situation that I was really surprised by. So I really appreciated that Jen, as a teacher, was very easy to learn from because she comes to your level of learning and understanding. So some people have an elevated learning understanding, and she can talk at their level. Jen is extremely intelligent. And when she needs to be that person, she can be that person. For some of us, she can talk like a kindergartner. And I think that is also a wonderful skill. And I am very thankful for it. Well, the benefit of doing this in a group setting is definitely being able to learn from each other. I found that super beneficial. I love people. So I would prefer to learn in a group setting, especially for the fact of getting to interact with everybody else's stories and seeing where they're at in life. Not to compare, which is something you definitely need to be wary of because everybody's in a different place. And that's all it is. They're in a different place. but cool to be able to see where everybody is at when it comes to the process of discovering their identity. Everybody goes at a different speed. And that was the fun part, because we all ran that race very differently, emotionally and really physically. And Jen, again, great teacher, just walked the race or ran or sprinted the race with each of us right alongside. Yeah, how did she do that? Actually, now that I think about that, how in the world does she split herself up to be able to do that? That's kind of mind-blowing. But as a group, it's wonderful because we take turns sharing where we're at and what we discovered in the last lesson. And it really helps open your eyes to what they saw, which helps open the door to new things that you're like, oh, that could be cool for me. Or, oh, I see that in my life. I should do some more looking into that. And it just helps become a group kind of therapy that is confidential, which is really neat. As much as we talked about privately in that group, I haven't heard one thing ever come up publicly, and that says a lot about the trust that's built within the group too. And not to mention, I've seen these women in person a few times now, and we're like the best friends ever because we know so much about each other. We've built such a strong bond through this process, and we hug, and it's just like my people, that we've become each other's people. Like, would I recommend the Gold Track to a friend? Duh. Would I recommend the Gold Track to an enemy? Yeah, because I want them to become a friend. Would I recommend the Gold Track to my competition? Yeah, so they could become better competition and not be ruining comedy for people. Yes. Would I recommend the Gold Track to people that aren't very strong in maybe their workplace and I don't even know who they are? Yes, I would recommend them because they could become better at their individual job or whatever it is they're doing in life. I would recommend the Gold Track to a circus monkey because I think they could do better in the circus, for God's sakes. There is not a person living and breathing on this planet that should not be considering doing the Gold Track. And I don't say that lightly. I have done personal development for the better part of my adult life. I have never walked through a program so pointed, so direct, so individual that got me right to the core at something that completely changed how I eat, sleep, and breathe and move every day and interact with people in such a better, positive way. Never the Mind has severely changed my income and how I am productive in everyday life. Never. Like, I've done a lot of feel-good things, but not something this direct with this kind of results. No way should anybody be presented with this opportunity and not jump all over it. I mean, if I'm being honest, you're pretty lucky that at this point you can get it at the price you can get it at. Because if she were smart, this thing should probably be 3, 4, 5 times the amount that it is. And I recommend she does that after I take it a couple more times. Please, Jen, don't get crazy till I get through it a couple more times. I'll give you my phone number. Drop me a pin so I can get to you because I'm going to kick you over the fence. If you could give me your location so I could come sucker punch you over that fence. Okay, that was violent. I understand that making a decision, maybe it's big because of the money. Maybe it's big because of the time that you're committing. Maybe it's big because you're unsure if you really want to know about yourself. What I will tell you is if you actually walk your way through this, what you will discover on the other side is something so freeing, so relaxing, so peaceful that you will never look back. In current day world, look around you. If you turn on the news for 5 minutes, you will get stressed the heck out. Nobody needs to live like that. Nobody. If you want to live your life in a way that you have the instant answer every single day of how to calm your mind, calm your heart instantly when you're in the most anxious times, in the most doubting times, in the most fearful times, through Jen, through the Gold Track, no matter what horrible situation you're in, you will have every answer, every prayer you need to change all of that instantly. And I still do it every single day, every single moment, every single show. I know exactly what page to turn to fix any anxiousness I have, any doubt I have, any worry I have, and it's gone. It's gone in a minute, and he's got my back. And you will only get that through the Gold Track. Only. The only way you're going to get it. I have not found a training like it ever, and I have looked.